Welcome back, everyone.
Hey.
We're going to do 2 again today. We're going to do 8 and 9. Instinctive response reprogramming and intuition is 8, and then 9 is fun and enjoyment equals up. So, yeah, up equals fun. All right, so instinctive response reprogramming. What is that? What are we talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Explain yourself.
Yeah. And we talk about this in one of the sections that we haven't covered yet.
Oh, in the translation stage? Or, in stage 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a lot about this in stage 3.
Yeah, because stage 3 is where you're going for results. You're going to make practical applications. You're going to change the way you behave or what happens in your life. So that's different than just understanding theory, which we're still doing now.
Yeah, and in stage 3, there's a ton of new information. Like stage 2, we're doing the review, right? You got the overview, but we didn't do an overview of the hero stage yet.
Yeah, that happens in the next stage.
Yeah.
We're waiting to explain the hero stage until you understand the concepts.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually make you wait for that answer.
Oh, dang.
Because it's so good. And if you want a sneak preview, skim through the hero section. Not that, don't tell anyone I said that.
But the concept, can I just...
Okay, go for it.
I'm not going to explain how the stuff that's going to come later, but if you think of the ability to change what you instinctively do. Like say now, when you see ice cream, you instinctively eat it. And let's say you wanted to do something different instinctively, not having to push yourself, it's just natural. The ability to change what you instinctively do, that can happen when you apply peak experience to it. And
that's actually a big factor in the difference between up and perspective. So if we want to...
Because it's changing your reality. It's changing, you're becoming a different person and the world around you is becoming a different place. In simple terms, right? Okay. Yep.
So it somehow increases the gap between stimulus and response. And we're going to talk about that. And it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I observed it in my mentor, and I remember I was like, it seems like you're in an airplane and you can see everything around you, whereas I am on a mountain trail and I can only see the trees around me. Like it feels like when you have more instinctive response or more gap between stimulus and response, you can see a big picture with tons more detail. So much more. You can see how this comes into play and this comes into play and how this interacts with this, and it's like a bird's eye view of life instead of what's only 2 inches from your face.
Wow, okay. Yeah. Cool. So we get a little bit about just how to understand up based on that.
Yep. And so this sentence, the hero can play with reprogramming their instinctive responses, and they can explore using intuition and expanding their sensory perceptions. Translate that into your own words. And one of the ways that I do that is I look at the definition I think I understand from each of the words. So each individual word, and then I go to the phrase. What does the phrase mean to me? And then I look at the other concepts I've gone over before this and think, how does it apply to what I've learned before? And then keep it kind of in my mind as I go forward and say, how does it apply to these? Because it's a whole interconnected system that the more you can take that bird's eye view, the more it will make sense.
Are you going to keep posting some of your questions in the comments?
I'm going to every time.
Okay. So also look for
Stacy's questions. And they're all optional. It's just my way of learning.
Yeah.
But,
and feel free to share yours in the comments below.
However you learn.
Wow. Do you have unique insights that we can all benefit from, and we would love to hear them?
Yes.
So then the next one?
Fun and enjoyment. Up equals fun. I'm just going to read it. No matter where the hero is or what they are doing, the fun-ergy will be available. Fun-ergy is our word. Mastering up enhances enjoyment of all types. It's so true. Like, but when you go from thinking the game is fun, the task is fun, to I bring the fun, can you imagine how much more fun you have in life?
Oh man, it was so interesting to see Stacy talking about this with our kids, because they were talking about different video games that they were trying out, and And she had talked about like issues and some of the other concepts. She's been sharing her journey the entire time with the family, and she was talking to two of her older sons, and they got the idea that, oh, the stuff doesn't make you happy. You bring that kind of idea.
They got it in theory.
They got it. They thought like, yeah, of course, and yeah, I understand that. And then they're talking about which games are fun and which games are not fun. And she helped them click that, oh, we think the game is bringing the fun if we think the game itself is fun. So if this concept that you bring the fun, you can bring the fun to any game, the game itself. So what would that look like?
Yeah, and you could apply it first to games if that's easier, but apply it to everything eventually.
And that's what you were talking about with your directions and goals.
Yeah. And that's what I did with the house, this magic
That's
self-cleaning house. I just brought the fun to the experience. And you know the difference. Like, you know what it feels like when you feel like something's fun versus when it's work.
Oh, man.
It's night and day. There's no comparison. And then if you realize you have the power to change your work into play and not only be effective and productive, but be more effective and more productive and enjoy the whole process, that's that.
So then you get that tenacity. You can do that as long as you want. So the only reason you wouldn't get your goal is if you chose a different goal.
Yep. It's crazy. You feel superhuman. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.